I'm 29, male. And 3 weeks ago, my life flipped upside down. It started on a random Thursday night. My girlfriend, Zoe, 27, cooked dinner, nothing fancy, pasta, garlic bread. We were sitting at the table when she got this serious look on her face. You know that we need to talk expression that freezes the blood in your veins?
Yeah, that one.
She put her fork down, folded her hands, and stared at me. We need to talk about your friends. I already knew where this was going. For the past year, Zoe had been making little comments. At first, they were subtle digs. Do you really need to go to trivia night every Tuesday? Grown men playing board games is kind of weird, don't you think?
I brushed them off.
But that night, she went all in. They're losers, Ethan. Every single one of them. Jasper works at a comic book store at 31. Dominic still lives with his parents. And don't even get me started on Trevor and his music career. That's just him playing guitar at open mics. I stayed quiet, letting her rant. My pulse was hammering in my ears, but I wanted to see how far she'd go.
She leaned in, her voice sharp.
You're almost 30.
You have a real job. A real future.
They're dragging you down. And I am tired of pretending their girlfriends are my friends when half of them work retail or are artists or whatever. It's embarrassing.
I swallowed hard.
What are you saying exactly? Her arms crossed, eyes narrowed.
It's them or me.
I'm done competing with a bunch of man-children for your attention.
Choose.
I stared at her for a long time. These weren't just friends. Jasper had helped me when my dad died. Dominic had literally offered me his kidney when I thought I might need one. Trevor talked me off a ledge after my ex cheated 4 years ago. These guys were my family.
Message received, I said finally. She smirked, thinking she'd won.
So, you'll tell them this week?
I'll handle it.
She kissed me, satisfied, then went to bed. I stayed up all night, staring at the ceiling, thinking about Margot. Zoe had no idea Margot even factored into the equation. See, Margot, Jasper's younger sister, had been in my life longer than anyone. We dated briefly in high school, stayed friends after, and she became a permanent part of the group. Smart, hilarious, the kind of person who would pull over to help a stranger change a tire. She was also a veterinarian, responsible, grounded. And lately, we'd been getting closer.
Noting inappropriate. But closer.
That week, I did 3 things.
I bought a ring.
Not a flashy diamond, just a simple silver band with a sapphire. Margot once joked diamonds were just overpriced rocks.
Talked to Jasper.
He laughed so hard he nearly passed out.
Packed my stuff.
Saturday came. Dominic's parents hosted our annual barbecue, something we'd done for 11 years straight. About 30 people were there, the core crew, their partners, families, neighbors. When dinner rolled around, I stood up, clinked my beer bottle, and said,
Wie Gott so meeting to sei.
Conversations died.
Plates pauset mi der. Everyone turned.
Zoe's absence was noticeable. She'd said she had a wine tasting with the girls from work.
Perfect cover.
Someone recently told me I needed to choose between them and all of you. Said you were losers holding me back. The crowd shifted uncomfortably.
People glanced at each other. I smiled.
But here's the thing. Jasper, yeah, you manage a comic book shop. But you also donate half your salary to the children's literacy program you started.
Dominic, you live with your parents.
But you're their full-time caregiver. You work nights to pay their mortgage. Trevor, your so-called failed music career? You spend your weekends playing for free at nursing homes and veteran centers. And then I turned to Margot.
My voice caught in my throat. And you've been my best friend for 17 years.
You've seen me at my worst and somehow still think I'm worth your time.
I dropped to one knee.
The entire backyard froze.
This isn't a rebound. It's not about spite.
Margot, I've loved you since junior year when you punched Bradley Hoffman for calling me gay. I was too stupid to see it, then too scared to risk our friendship. But someone made me realize I've been choosing the wrong people. So,
I pull it out the ring. Margot riefs, will you marry me? Sie längse.
Then tears in her eyes, a shaky laugh.
Yes.
The backyard erupted.
Cheers, Applause, beer bottles clinking.
Jasper yelled, finally.
My phone buzzed. Over and over.
By the time Margot and I checked it, I had 63 missed calls and a wall of texts from Zoe.
Where are you? Betini SAVU on Relay's Instagram story.
Is that a ring?
What the hell? You can't be serious.
This is illegal.
Wie live together.
Answer your phone.
I'm coming home right now. I texted back online.
Moved out Thursday.
Keys on the counter. We're done.
Then I turned my phone off and spent the night with people who actually mattered. Sunday morning, 7 a.m., Zoe showed up at Dominic's parents' house screaming in the driveway. Dominic's dad, in his boxers, sipping coffee, stood calmly as she ranted about theft and betrayal. "I want my boyfriend back," she shrieked.
Which one? He asked.
"The guy who proposed to someone else? Or the loser you wanted him to cut off?" She lost it. Rage crying, throwing lawn decorations. Dominic's mom rolled out in her wheelchair, phone up. "For the restraining order," she said loudly. Zoe peeled out, tires squealing. Monday, she upped the ante. She called my HR department claiming I was mentally unstable.
Thing is, my boss Jerome, Trevor's older brother. He'd been at the barbecue. Jerome kellet in, barely holding back Laukata.
Your ex phoned HR saying you had a breakdown.
The breakdown where you propose.
I told you to date 5 years ago.
That one. Yep. Cool.
Congrats. HR wants you to file a harassment report though. Just in case she escalates. And escalate she did. She called Margot's veterinary clinic, sobbing into the phone about how Margot was mentally unstable and unfit to work with animals.
The receptionist? Dominic's girlfriend Luna.
She put Zoe on speaker.
She's stealing my life.
She planned this. She's been trying to break us up for years. Dr. Garrison, the clinic owner, took the phone.
"Ma'am, this is harassment.
If you continue, we'll forward everything to our legal team.
I'll sue. Have a nice day."
By Wednesday, things got darker. My landlord called. "Mr. Garrett, I'm confirming your application withdrawal."
My what?
"Your girlfriend called, said you were reconciling, and asked to cancel your lease."
My blood ran cold. Chat impersonated me. SSN, birthday, everything. Stufsche Knie from our old lease.
"That's fraud," the landlord said. "File a police report if you want to proceed." So I did.
Identity theft. Fraud.
The officer taking my report shook his head. "Your ex did this because you got engaged to someone else?" "Because I chose my friends over her, and then got engaged to someone else." "Sir, you need a restraining order." Thursday morning, Margot found her car keyed. Deep scratches across the door, WH0R3. By Friday, Zoe had reached peak unhinged. She used her work email, from her prestigious marketing firm, to blast over 200 people, including family, co-workers, and friends. It was a wall of lies. "I stole $10,000 from her, we never had joint accounts. Margot harassed her for years, we were drug addicts, abusive, manipulative." One problem, she sent it to Margot's uncle, who just so happens to be a defamation lawyer.
Within 10 minutes, he called.
Did Zoe just nuke her entire career for you guys?
Christmas came early.
Even worse for Zoe, her CEO, also on that email chain, saw everything. By noon, she was fired. Escorted out by security. 2 weeks later, we had the restraining order hearing. Zoe showed up with her family. I had Margot, her uncle, and Jerome ready to testify. The judge listened to everything.
The keyed car. Fake screenshots. Identity theft. Corporate email blast.
"Ms. Winters," he said finally, "this isn't distress. This is a campaign of harassment. Restraining order granted.
2 years, no contact.
You are also responsible for damages and legal fees."
Boom. The best part?
Helen, Zoe's mom, called me afterward. "We're finally getting Zoe real help," she said. "This isn't the first time. She's pulled similar stunts with past boyfriends.
We covered for her. Paid people off. But no more. Therapy. Or she's out."
And that was it. Zoe vanished from my life.
No more calls. No more texts.
Meanwhile, the so-called losers became tighter than ever. Dominic made t-shirts, Losers Anonymous. His mom is our honorary president. As for Margot and me, we're taking it slow. Counseling, planning, building something real. The proposal was genuine, but we're not rushing. Last weekend, we all gathered again. Trevor played guitar. Jasper brought comics. Luna introduced her new puppy. Jerome and his wife dropped off dessert. Margot laughed so hard at Trevor's jokes she nearly cried. And sitting there, surrounded by the people Zoe called losers, I realized she was right about one thing.
I did have to choose.
I chose family. Just not the one she expected. Oh, and Jasper's planning my bachelor party. A weekend-long D&D campaign at a cabin.
Zoe would have hated it.
It's perfect. Final thought, sometimes the trash takes itself out. You just have to be smart enough not to take it back in.